Today, we're talking about the world of chicken and its impact on our health. Is chicken really as healthy as we think? Let's explore what the research says about chicken, heart health, and diabetes. I will write a chapter on my experience with chicken later in the video. However, processed chicken in the form of sausages, nuggets, and similar foods are not healthy. Processed meat is meat that has been treated to preserve or flavor it, such as through salting, curing, fermenting, and smoking. You can check the ingredients label to see if the meat is processed. If salt or unfamiliar names are on the list, it's processed meat. Chicken meat may be highly contaminated with hormones given to it to speed up growth. Another thing is the antibiotics given chicken to prevent infections. I avoid these by boiling it in extra water and then discarding the water before starting the second stage of preparation. This will also reduce the amount of saturated fat in the cooked meat. Chicken has been a staple in many diets for years. It's known for being a lean and cheap protein source. But is it all it's cracked up to be? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the good side. Chicken is packed with nutrients that our bodies need. It's a great source of high-quality protein, which helps build and repair muscles. A 3.5-ounce serving of boneless, skinless chicken breast provides essential vitamins and minerals like potassium, vitamin D, iron, and calcium. But here's where it gets interesting. Recent studies have shown that chicken might have some surprising health benefits. For example, eating chicken could actually reduce your risk of certain cancers. That is when compared to eating other types of meats. But that research is not backed by other research on chicken. Now, let's talk about heart health. This is where things get a bit tricky. Some research suggests that eating more poultry, like chicken, might lower your risk of heart disease. But, and this is a big but, other studies aren't so sure. The Heart Foundation says that poultry doesn't seem to increase or decrease the risk of heart disease. So, it's kind of neutral when it comes to your ticker. My personal story is that I used to eat about 200 grams of chicken daily while I was working in Brunei for 2 years. 6 months later, I had a heart attack and had to do a bypass surgery. That is 30 years ago. There is no direct evidence to link that to eating chicken. But that is the only reason I can think of. Wait, there is more, but do not forget to hit the like button if you have found this video useful so far. Research references are in the comments section. What about diabetes? Well, here's where things get really interesting. Some studies suggest that eating chicken might actually help manage blood sugar levels. But, saturated fat can worsen insulin resistance according to research. Saturated fatty acids are pro-inflammatory molecules that can contribute to insulin resistance through a number of mechanisms. Even then, the American Diabetes Association recommends filling a quarter of your plate with lean protein like chicken. But, and here's another but, recent research has thrown a curveball our way. A study published in the Lancet Diabetes and Endocrinology in 2024 found something surprising. They looked at data from nearly 2 million people across 20 countries. What they found was that eating 100 grams of poultry a day, which is about the size of a small chicken breast, was linked to an 8% higher risk of developing type 2 diabetes over the next 10 years. But don't panic just yet. The researchers said this evidence was weaker than the link they found with red and processed meats, and it needs more investigation. Speaking of red and processed meats, let's compare them to chicken for a moment. The same study found that eating 50 grams of processed meat a day, which is about 2 slices of ham, was linked to a 15% higher risk of type 2 diabetes. And 100 grams of unprocessed red meat, like a small steak, was associated with a 10% higher risk. So, chicken still comes out better in comparison. Now, let's talk about how chicken fits into your overall diet. The good news is that chicken can be part of any healthy eating pattern. Whether you are following the Mediterranean diet, the DASH diet, or just trying to eat more flexibly, chicken can fit right in. It's versatile, affordable, and can be cooked in so many delicious ways. But here's something to keep in mind. How you prepare your chicken matters. Grilled or baked chicken is generally healthier than fried chicken. And removing the skin can help reduce the fat content. Also, different parts of the chicken have different nutritional profiles. For example, chicken breast typically has less fat than chicken thighs. Here's a fun fact. Dark meat chicken, like thighs and drumsticks, actually contains more vitamins and minerals than white meat. It's got more riboflavin, thiamine, and vitamins B6 and B12. It's also higher in iron and zinc. Plus, many people find dark meat more flavorful and less likely to dry out when cooking. Now, let's talk about portion sizes. The 2020-2025 dietary guidelines for Americans say that chicken can be included in a healthy eating pattern for people of all ages. But like with most foods, moderation is key. A typical serving size of chicken is about 3 to 4 ounces, or about the size of a deck of cards. It's also worth noting that chicken can be particularly beneficial for certain groups of people. Pregnant women and young children can especially benefit from the nutrients in chicken. It's a good source of choline, which is crucial for brain development in infants and toddlers. But let's not forget about the potential downsides. While chicken is generally considered a healthy choice, how it's prepared can make a big difference. Fried chicken, for example, adds a lot of extra calories and unhealthy fats. And chicken that's heavily processed or mixed with high-fat sauces can negate many of its health benefits. There's also the issue of food safety to consider. Chicken needs to be handled and cooked properly to avoid foodborne illnesses. Always make sure your chicken is cooked to an internal temperature of 165 degrees Fahrenheit, 74 degrees Celsius, to kill harmful bacteria. So, what's the bottom line? Chicken can be a healthy part of your diet. It's a good source of protein and essential nutrients. It works well in many different types of meals and can help you maintain a balanced diet. But, like with any food, it's important to consider how it fits into your overall eating pattern. If you're concerned about heart health or diabetes, it's always a good idea to talk to your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can help you figure out the best diet for your individual needs. Remember, no single food is a magic bullet for health. It's your overall diet and lifestyle that really matter. In the end, chicken can be a tasty and nutritious part of a healthy diet. But it's just one piece of the puzzle. Aim for a varied diet with plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. And don't forget to enjoy your food. After all, eating should be both healthy and delicious. So, next time you're planning your meals, consider adding some chicken to the mix. Just remember to keep it balanced, prepare it in healthy ways, and listen to your body. Here's to your health. Do not forget to click the like button and subscribe. On the screen, you see a few videos related to some other diabetes-related issues. Thanks very much for watching this video. See you in the next video.